I'm wondering, though, if we can talk a little bit more about this switch from a traditional form of religion as based in the Hujra, which is certainly tribal and, reflective of long-standing traditions in the area, and this more militant version of the religion as it was placed into the mosque. What was that transition like? I assume there was a generational issue here as well, where younger people locally perhaps found this a more appealing, a more exciting way of becoming involved in local affairs, if I could put it that way.
Yes, this was also a factor, but there were 2 or 3 other factors as well. For instance, one was that at that time about 3 million Afghan refugees had come in. And now it is being published by a former Pakistan Army general who says that General Ziaul Haq, who was the military dictator at the time, got money from Saudi Arabia and said that we want to establish a chain of madrasas associated with the mosque.
Madrasas being religious schools.
Religious schools, seminaries linked with the mosque. 6,000 madrasas were built on the border exactly in this area what I referred to, the tribal belt of these agencies, and all the orphans who were coming back and refugees who were coming from Afghanistan, they said rather than they getting into the mainstream Pakistan, let them be here. The purpose was partly to provide them boarding and lodging, to give them religious education, but also to train them to go back and fight the Soviets. Because fighting the Soviets, fighting the infidels, the communists was the objective, the Western objective, because they poured money of Pakistan, because Pakistan thought Soviet Union will come into Pakistan next. So it was a collaboration, it was a consensus to have this policy. But those 6,000 madrasas, what Saudis did was, as we say, there is no such thing as free lunch. Saudis said, yes, we will give you madrasa or seminary, but we will also ensure that our brand of religion, which is Wahhabism or Salafism, which is more conservative, which is more orthodox, they said we will try to preach that, which is in comparison to the other religious traditions in the area, was more, if I may say, in its extreme form, more harsh, more crude. Secondly, it was in the interest of the military and the government and even also the foreigners involved to give them that version or give them those precepts of the religion which are relevant for jihad. Jihad being an effort and struggle which historically meant an effort against the sins, the larger form of it or the greater form, but also has a meaning in terms of armed conflict, that version, I would say, in fact, unfortunately has become more prominent or dominant. So this mosque and madrasa, the seminary, provided a great place for this new version of jihad or the distorted or dogmatic version of jihad. The third factor I would add, some of the warriors who were coming from abroad, because when the Pakistan needed about 30,000-40,000 militants who came to Pakistan. For instance, they requested Egypt. Hosni Mubarak, before Hosni Mubarak, Anwar Sadat and Hosni Mubarak in this case, they said, yes, we have these people from Islamic Brotherhood. We want to get rid of them in any case because they are against the Egyptian government. So each of the Muslim states, they wanted to get rid of their hardliners. They said, oh, we have this group of people who are great warriors. Nobody realized that a combination of all these radicals, what will they do? They were great for fighting the Soviets. But then, as we say, it's so easy to switch on with training, equipment. You just cannot decommission them overnight. And so this Hujra to mosque transition was also affected by these outside factors.